Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Ecolinguist live show.
Welcome back to the Ecolinguist live show.
Oh my gosh, I have a technical problem. Just wait a second.
Technical problem, just wait a second.
Where is it? Oh, I see. Yeah, I was hearing myself. Let's start over. This is all happening live. So welcome everybody to the Ecolinguist live show and welcome to 2023. This is the first episode this year. So I'm glad that you are all here. I wish you all happy new year. And I'm glad to be back. And for all of you who already know the show, you know that this is the show that we make together. That means that you can call me in live and we can improvise language challenges together. We've got all kinds of formats that we can cover here. It really depends on what you would like to do today and who's going to call me. That's all up to you. If you want to call me, you do need to be registered, and that's how you're going to get the instructions on how to connect to this software. You will find the link in the description box to a registration form. You just need to fill it in and you are going to get a link with instructions how to join the software that I'm using for streaming. You hear me well. And if you've participated in the show in the previous shows, you don't have to register again. You can just find the link in your inbox and just use the same link because it's the same link basically. So there is that. This is the registration explained. But before we start, I have some announcements for you. So let me just switch here. Yes, we are back here. So if you follow my community tab, actually I should go back to this screen. If you follow my community tab on my channel, it's just right here. So if you are a subscriber and if you come to my channel page and you click on the community, you will see that, yeah, I was looking for a Romanian speaker for the video that we were recording 4 days ago. So you know that that's happening. The most likely next video that is going to appear on the channel is going to be a video featuring the Interlingua channel. And we actually found a Romanian speaker I needed. So thank you so much for that. Just wanted to tell you that you can actually check up what's going on the channel through the community tab. And before that, before the New Year's, I actually did a poll on the community tab, and I wanted to share the results of the poll with you. I just wanted to hear your feedback about the show and what are your expectations. I just wanted to know what you like about this show the most, what makes you come back and why you want to participate in it, and what kind of challenges you'd like to see in the future. So if you have a look at the answers, there were more than 1,300 people who voted, which is quite a big number. So thank you so much for taking your time doing this. And it seems that you all just want to do the mutual intelligibility challenges on this channel, and you want to just call me in and do what we've been doing so far. We did some guess the language challenges, and actually when I looked at the data, it seems that you also really liked it because you watched those challenges for longer. Generally speaking, when I look at the statistics, at the analytics of YouTube, those shows where we play guess the language games, they're watched for longer. So it means that you guys like it. So I think we're going to continue doing that. And when it comes to mutual intelligibility challenges, I thought that maybe it would be a better idea to maybe move them over to the language hubs that I created at different YouTube channels. I've got Slavic Languages Hub, Romance Languages Hub, and Germanic Languages Hub. If we move over the show to those channels, I think it would be much easier for us to make the kind of challenges that you want, because if we stream on the Romance Languages Hub channel, people who speak Romance languages would call in and we would just dedicate that episode to Romance languages. It would be much easier than navigating multiple different language families within one stream. It's still possible, I think, but that's something that I'm considering, and probably from next week I'm going to switch to that model, and we'll be streaming once a week on maybe not once a week. I think about doing one stream a week. Every week I would stream on a different channel, basically. 1 week on the Romance Languages Hub, 1 week on the Germanic Languages Hub, and 1 week on the Slavic Languages Hub, and then 1 week on the Ecolinguist channel, where we could do all kinds of things, a mix, basically. Maybe have special guests invited also, do the Guess the Language show live. That's the idea. I don't know what you think about it. Let me know in the chat or in the comment section if you're watching a replay. I'd like to know your thoughts about that. Yes. So that's one thing I wanted to share with you, the details of the poll, the results of the poll. Okay. What else? Yeah, and for all of you who are learning Polish, I made another video for Polish learners on the Slavic Languages Hub. So if you're interested, just go and check it out there. I did another episode of learning Polish in a live simulator, playing The Sims 4 in Polish. It came out really fun. I really enjoyed making it. So if you're learning Polish and you want some content in Polish with captions, go to the Slavic Languages Hub and you will find it there. So there is that. The registration form is here. Did I want to show you something else to you? Oh, yeah. So we are still working on the video featuring the interlingua language, which is a constructed language that is supposed to be easy to understand for the speakers of Romance languages and also English to some extent. Actually, as it turned out, it's also very, very easy to understand for English speakers. We haven't finished it yet. I'm still working on the captioning, but if you're a channel member, you can find the clip, 10-minute long clip from the recording that we did a couple of days ago, and you can check it out there. It's for channel members because it's not finished yet. I still need to put captioning and finish the editing. So before we make it public, it's available only to channel members. But as soon as it's ready, you all will be able to see it as well. So just throwing it out there if you're interested. And yes, let's see. I mean, there is so many people calling in. Actually, maybe it was a good idea to take a break from streaming, because today I see there is lots of people calling. So I'm looking forward to connect with you guys. So just give me a second. I'm just gonna take a sip of tea. Because for some reason I'm just like I'm rushing through this video a little bit. I don't know. Maybe because I'm out of practice a bit. I don't know. Let's just have a quick look at the comment section, what you're saying. Siemanko Norbercie. Okay, you guys having conversations among yourselves, which is great. You know, that's what this channel is all about. It's about community. I want you guys to interact with each other. And if you want more of that, there is a Discord server that you can join, the Ecolinguist Discord server. There is more options for interacting with each other and learning languages from each other. You can use voice chats to practice your languages, to do the mutual intelligibility challenges. And as I see, there are some people who are members of the Ecolinguist server already calling in, so we might add them in a second. But let's start with the first caller, the first person who called even before I started the show. So let's add Jan and see what's gonna happen. Jan, you're going to join me in a second, so get ready. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Jan. Tell us, where are you calling from and what languages do you speak?
Yeah, I'm calling from Germany, and I speak German, of course, and English, and also Italian. I think maybe level B1 or something like that. And I actually try to learn a bit of Russian, but it's quite difficult at the beginning. So, yeah.
Okay, so you're a German speaker. You're learning some Romance languages, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of challenge would you like to participate in today?
I would be interested in a mutual intelligibility with Germanic languages, I think, because in Italian, I think I can understand pretty well, but speaking is quite difficult for me. So, yeah.
Okay, that's great. I actually see that there are some speakers of Germanic languages calling in right now, so we're going to add them in a moment. Let me just double check who else is calling. Yeah, so everybody who is the guys who are calling at the moment, if you could add the language that you speak next to your name, that would be great, because at the moment I just see your names and I don't know what languages you speak. So I don't know if I can add you in this moment of the show, because we are in need of a Germanic language speaker. So all of you who are calling, please add your language next to your name, except Magnus, because I know that you speak Danish. So I'm going to add Magnus. Let me just think how to do this. Going to come here and add myself here.
There's mirroring in my glasses, right?
A little bit, yes. I mean,
I don't know if...
there is a little bit of a lag. There is a little bit of a lag on your side. I'm not sure what's that, but let's.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yes. Hello, Magnus.
Hi.
Welcome back to the
Hey,
show.
everybody.
Nice to see you, Magnus. Tell us just for those who don't know you, where are you calling from and what languages do you speak?
Today I'm calling from Denmark, and I speak Danish, of course, and I speak English, of course, and I also speak a little bit of French and German and Spanish, but clearly at a beginner level. I can understand it, but speaking is difficult. Like with yeah.
Yes. So, Jan, actually, am I pronouncing your name correctly, Jan? Is it Jan?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
same as in Polish. It's also Jan. We pronounce the J sound in the same way, Germans and Poles. Great. So, what's your experience with Danish, Jan?
Oh, I know. Yeah, Danish is also a Germanic language, but I think with the pronunciation, it's the most difficult after Icelandic. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so Norwegian and Swedish for me is a little bit easier to understand, I think. So, yeah, I'm
Uh-huh.
excited.
Yes, so maybe Magnus, have you prepared any words for today that you would like, or words or sentences? Maybe you have prepared something else for today.
Well, I can quickly think of something.
Mm-hmm. I
Uh,
Okay, so meanwhile, when you're thinking, I'm going to send a link in the interview chat where you can generate random words just for some ideas. So maybe I will just demonstrate that to people. Oh no, where is it? That's the one. Yeah. So basically, if you ever need ideas for words for this kind of games, maybe you are interacting with people on Discord, on the Ecolinguist Discord server, and you need some ideas for words, there is a random word generator online that you can use. You can just use the game. The game that you use is Pictionary. I think it's the best for this kind of challenges. And the category you could use either easy, maybe hard, and just, you know, generate something, some words that give you ideas, and maybe you can use them in the game. Of course, yeah, you see, those are very interesting. Of course, this is for English, but it's just for inspiration. So, so I think it's still gonna work.
May I ask a question for the technique?
For the technique, for yes, yes.
I want to know if there is a possibility to have a full screen, to have everybody in full screen, so I have only the half screen, I would say.
Okay, like a technical problem you've got there. I mean, we're going to switch to this in a moment, or this. Is that better for you?
It's the picture placed in the middle of my screen, so it's not the whole screen, but still in the middle. So I have the buttons share screen, but this is not.
Oh, so you don't, you
right.
can't go full screen. Yeah, I'm not sure how it looks on your side actually, so I'm not entirely sure how that would work. But let me think about it. I'm not sure if we can change that. Like, I could go potentially to this kind of setup.
Okay.
If that's any better.
Maybe you can try press F11.
F11. No.
Did that help? Yes. So Jan, this challenge is mostly auditory. So you just, as long as you can hear us well, I think you still will be able to participate.
Yeah.
So we could do maybe one Danish word or two Danish words, and then maybe we could add more people and give other people a chance to participate as well today. So Jan, let's try that. If Magnus is ready, are you ready, Magnus?
Yes, I have a word.
Okay, so just try to speak slowly, and you, Jan, can ask questions in German, and you can try to get as much information about the word as possible. And when you're ready, you can just try to guess. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's do this then.
Great.
German versus Danish.
Okay, so this, I'm gonna switch to Danish now. Dette er en ting. En ting. Du tager denne ting på fødderne, og så kan du tage op i bjergene og tage den her ting på fødderne og glide ned over sneen, den kolde sne, imens du undgår alle de ting, der måtte være i vejen for dig på vej ned ad bjerget. Denne ting er lang. I gamle dage var det lavet af træ. Man kan have noget udstyr med, når man bruger denne ting i bjergene, når man står på sneen. Man kan have beskyttere til albuer og knæ. Når man har disse ting på, kan man få meget fart på. Ned af bjerget. Ned over sneen af bjerget. Alright.
Also was ich verstanden habe, es ist ein Objekt,
Ja,
was man draußen im Schnee gebraucht,
ja,
was man an den Ellenbogen trägt oder auch über dem Knie.
ja om den på fødderne. Du har denne ting på fødderne. Og den er lang. De er lange. På fødderne.
Ein Füllerne, ist das Fliegen? Nein.
Fod. Fødderne. Fødderne.
Laufen.
Ja, du har disse på fødderne, og så står du ned af bjerget, når det er koldt, og der er sne.
Skilaufen.
I think that might be close. I'm not sure. Can you say it in English?
If you're running ski or snowboard or something like that.
Det er en ting. Ting. Du er tæt på. Meget tæt på. Du er det er helt rigtigt. Det er en ting, du har på fødderne, når du står ned ad bjerget på sneen.
Yeah, I would say like something like snowboard or ski.
Yeah. You got it. Ski.
Correct. Okay. That's great. Yes. Wonderful. It worked. I don't remember if it worked last time when we did that, but people were struggling a lot. So Jan, what gave it away to you?
Yeah, it was difficult that there are some words that I didn't understand, but I tried to pick the most words so I can construct a sentence in my head, which made the most sense to me. But yeah, I struggled a lot with flyrande. I wasn't sure if it has something to do with to fly or
So in Danish,
like
we also have a word, fusserne, which is kind of related a little to German. But I wasn't sure if I should say it. So I kept saying fødderne because that's the Danish word for feet.
Okay.
Okay. I thought it was a verb, so I struggled with that. So
yeah, that's great. So I think for the next challenge, maybe we could do a written challenge, which means a text challenge. So maybe Magnus, if you could write a sentence or something in Danish and then just send it into the chat, and I can paste it on the screen.
Yes. So I suppose it should be. So I kind of picked a topic that was a little bit relevant to the time of year.
Okay.
I guess we could do that as well here. Comments. Where do I write? Well, I don't even know where to write. Is that in the guest chat? Oh, I cannot. Okay, I can only write in the guest chat. Is that where you want me to write it?
Yes, in the guest chat. Yeah. You could also, I guess, write it in the comment section, and then I could. But I think that's the best way, just to paste it into the interview chat, and then I'm going to copy it and put it on screen.
Well, there are so many peoples in the comments from all over.
Yes.
Great.
Yes, absolutely, which is great. And people also use different languages in the chat, so I'm not always able to read those comments and messages, but that's fine.
So Dobry wieczór to all Slavic
Augustina,
people.
dobrego wieczora. Yes, I'm not sure what language. It could be Czech or Slovak, I think, because of the little hat above the sea. But I think Augustina is messaging us from Argentina, if I'm correct.
All right,
Yes.
I put a sentence there.
Wonderful. I see the
It's quite
sentence.
simple.
I see the
And,
sentence. So we're going to increase this. And we're going to make this disappear and these two appear. I hope you see it well. Yes. So first, Magnus, you just read it out loud, and Jan, you can think about how to translate it into German and English as well.
Okay. På en kølig vinternat snakker vi sammen og hygger.
Yeah, so with the first part, so the last part is we speak together, we speak to each other, and we chill or something like that.
It's close, yes. Very close.
Köli is, I think, something like an adjective or.
Yeah.
Also, for yeah, for n is for Köli Winternat. I would say for a nice live stream, we speak to each other and chill out or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, it's very close. It is very close.
So what is the correct answer, Magnus, then?
In a cool winter night, we are speaking together and having a good time.
Oh, okay.
That's great. So how would that be in German?
In einer schönen Winternacht sprechen wir zusammen und chillen. I don't know. There isn't quite a German word for to chill.
How
So we use it from English.
How did you know this word, hygge?
Because I know that something like the Danish I would say a little bit like a Danish cliche is that Hüge is a word for in German we would say Gemütlichkeit.
Gemütlich.
So
So you knew the word.
Yeah.
So you basically knew the word because of Danish-German relationships and
Yes,
cultural
I was
exchange.
very surprised with that because this is a very Danish-specific word and it's not something that is easily translatable to other languages.
Hadwig suggesting gesellig. Gesellig. I think that's the Dutch word for it.
Yeah.
Gesellig, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I know about this word also. It's just the words that are very culturally specific. Sometimes we have no idea what it is, and sometimes they are so specific that people who are interested in languages just heard about them because they are just so unique that that they make their way through to other countries and people talk about it because it's so unique. That's great. So that was a great challenge. I think the text, seeing the text helped a lot. I think definitely. So
but I have some problems with the word Winternat. I first thought about the internet, and then I didn't know what this V before the word should mean, so I didn't get that you pronounce it Winternat. So
I thought it was so close to German, so Winternacht that it would be okay.
Yes, that's great. So what we're going to do next, Jan, we're going to let you go, disconnect you, and add another person to give them a chance to take part in the challenge. So, Jan, thank you so much for doing this. You're welcome to call another time also. So, hopefully, see you around. Take care.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Danke. And we're going to add Peter. Now, I think it's guest one. Hello, Peter.
Hello.
Hey, hello, Peter. Tell us, where are you calling from and what languages do you speak?
Oh, so sorry, let me turn off YouTube. There.
Yeah.
So I'm calling from Colorado in the United States, and I speak English, obviously, and French, and a fair amount of Spanish, and I can understand a lot of Italian, but I haven't really studied it. And I have also studied Swedish and German, but those are pretty difficult for me. So I'm more of a Romance language person, although I can do some.
Okay. So you've got some exposure to Swedish and German. So I think a Danish challenge would be great for you, just because we happen to be doing the Germanic languages at this point.
Okay.
So if you don't mind, maybe Magnus, you could come up with another sentence just to make it easier. I think the text challenge, would be very interesting. It's also very interesting to see how words are spelled.
Yeah. It's like Danish is the weird Scandinavian language, but if I can see it written out, I think that would help.
Yeah, like what about the previous sentence that we used? Would that
I
make
think I
any
understood
sense to
that.
you? Yeah, you
Yeah,
understood
I
that?
think I could have understood that. Yeah.
But using your Swedish knowledge or German knowledge or maybe your English knowledge.
hmm Yeah, I think I can see that on a cold winter night, we talk together in hygge, which is kind of not translatable, but everyone knows what it means.
Okay. Kulik, yeah, kulik. Actually, kulik,
Natürlich.
it's kind of funny because in Polish, kulik is this kind of a sled trip, a winter trip on a sled with horses. The horses pull the sled, and the children are sitting on it, and they just go to the forest to have like a fire there and
Yeah,
have fun. So this is interesting.
that's cool.
So
I know, so I have like half Polish ancestry and I like know the sound of Polish, but I don't understand it at all.
interesting. Yeah. So, but what got you into Romance languages? Because you are more into Romance languages, right?
Yeah, I think it's just that here in the US, you basically have three choices of languages in school. Two of them are Romance, French and Spanish, and one is German. And so I took French just because it seemed the most interesting. And then I did take German, but it wasn't as easy for me.
So
I don't know, French,
you
yeah,
started learning it at school, and then you just didn't want to waste all the progress that you've made, so you just decided to continue and dive
yes,
more into the Romance languages.
yep.
Very practical.
Plus, here in the US, Spanish is pretty common. You can go outside and hear people speaking Spanish all the time. And
Yeah.
so knowing French, I think it's easier if you know French, then the other Romance languages are easier to understand than if you know like Spanish, then French is not as easy just because the pronunciation is so different from the spelling,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. It's almost like with Danish, it seems like the pronunciation is just so different than to what we expect.
hmm
But
Oh, sorry, I have to fix this.
you want to fix the sentence,
Oh, yeah.
I'm
okay?
trying not
This
to look
is
at it yet.
Oh, you already see it in the interview
Here, I'll close that.
chat. Yeah, I mean that's fine because it's because you need to see it, but I want to make sure that the audience also can see it. So
Right.
that's why I'm copying it and pasting it into the window. So it came out shorter. This time. Okay, that's fine.
There's two negatives in a row. I didn't want to do
Okay,
it.
so let's do this. Let's do the Danish sentence challenge again. Here it is. It's a bit slow. I hope you see it well. So, Magnus, you read it out loud.
Vi spiller fodbold på forskellige måder, men vi kan alligevel spille sammen.
Well,
That's some very Danish words here.
yeah, it looks it's not as recognizable as some of the ones that are in common with Swedish. I see that we spiller. That to me looks like play, maybe. We play football. I have no idea. På forskellige måder. Is that mother? But that doesn't mean that we can not play together or something like that.
We can.
Anyway, maybe is alligevel anyway.
Yeah.
So I know the second part after the comma is that, but we can play together anyway.
Yes. Oh man, that's great. You're really good.
So is
But
that the correct answer? So
Well, I think
get the first
you're
part.
in doubt about forskellige måder, right?
So let's just make sure that we get it. So Peter, what's your translation of this sentence?
We play, and then I don't know the rest of that first half, and then after the comma it says, but we can play together anyway.
So maybe because you mentioned mother there, so maybe
More is
maybe
it mother?
maybe the mother doesn't allow us or doesn't want us to play, but we play anyways. Maybe just adding things from the context.
We are all playing. Oh, is it like we are all playing different games,
Kind of.
but
It's
we
very
can still
close.
play together?
Yes.
So is that the correct answer?
It's very, very, very close. But
Okay,
not
Magnus. So give us the correct answer now.
we play football in different ways, but we can play together anyway.
So more is like
Correct.
sätta in Swedish.
Måder is ways or yeah.
Uh-huh.
We play the game differently, but we can play together anyway.
Nice.
So is that
Interesting.
Football is football. Forskellig is different. And I don't think Swedish. Swedish
Swedish has it.
Motor, I would say.
More. I don't know that word in Swedish. And,
Yeah, I think
different
they
in
don't-
Swedish is not forskelliga. It
No.
doesn't sound like that.
In Swedish.
I'm trying to think. What is it in Swedish?
Oh, Joanna is giving us a hint.
Set. Yeah.
Set. That's what I thought. Sette is what I would have thought in Swedish. But how do you say it in Danish? More.
Moder.
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 Med D. Moder. It's like mother, but with a O.
Moda.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. So
And for different in Swedish, it's annorlunda.
Annorlunda, yeah.
Annorlunda. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Peter, you were able to glean a lot, way more than we expected. So maybe we could give you another sentence then, before we move on to another challenge. So Magnus,
Yes.
can you come up with another sentence?
I
Yeah.
can.
Maybe the next challenge we're going to have, maybe it's going to be for you, and maybe you will have to guess something.
That would be lovely.
Yeah. Oh, and Joanna also just mentions that Olika is
Olika.
better. Olika is better here. I don't know, Peter, do you have any comments on that? Because I'm not sure. This is Swedish, right?
Yeah, olika is also different. I'm not good enough at Swedish to know like which one is best in which situation, but I know both of them.
Yes, so it's good to have people watching the show from all over, so they can always just quickly
Yeah.
um, join in the conversation. It's good.
It's fascinating. The spelling of football really got me. Like I would never have guessed that.
Really?
You
Yeah.
wouldn't have guessed
It's
that
so
based
close.
on the way it sounds, right?
No, just based on the way it's spelled.
Ah, okay.
Full
Because yeah, because in Swedish it's foot with a T.
football. Yeah. Uh,
And I apologize to any Swedish people out there right now.
No worries. You know, we are learning here new things, and
Oh,
it's great.
I kind of had to restart here. I can't really come up with something right now.
You can
Maybe I can
also
try.
use the Pictionary generator.
Yes, yes,
That's
I will do
it.
that.
Also has phrases. So, so Peter. Meanwhile, what could you tell us about the languages you've been studying? Like, which one is like the most surprising for you? Like, of all the languages that you've studied, was there any language in particular that surprised you with something?
I think Swedish surprised me the most just because, you know, it's not very much studied here in the US, but it's not that difficult. Like I thought German was way harder than Swedish. Swedish is like German light, it doesn't have cases. A lot of times you can just like it's almost word for word English to Swedish, and a lot of the words are very recognizable. So I think that was not expected.
There was a positive surprise for you.
Yeah.
There's also many Swedish grammar. Like if you look at Danish and Swedish and Norwegian, Swedish
hmm
have some similarities with English that Danish and Norwegian doesn't have, I think. So
Yeah, and you know what else is like, so English is like this mutt language of Romance on one side and Germanic on the other side.
mhm.
And so I already had known French. And so like that's half of English. And then when I was learning Swedish, it's like, oh, that's the other half of English.
Yes, that's right.
Kind of,
I think that's right.
Yes, Wendy is agreeing with you. Wendy says that as a German speaker with English as
hmm
a mother tongue, Swedish is surprisingly easy.
Yes,
Good to
Yeah.
know.
I'm training my Swedish because um, I went actually on a blind date with a Swedish girl some years ago in Skåne, and
Oh,
I didn't
nice.
understand a word she was saying. It was gibberish to me, and the
Well,
funny
that's
thing is
Skånska.
Skånska, yeah, that's right, and that's probably what, because usually I have an easy time understanding people from Stockholm. So I thought it'd be nice if I could have an easier time understanding my Swedish brethren. So I'm just,
And I
and
know the
it's so
Swedish they
close to
speak
Danish,
in,
but it's so different in other ways. So yeah,
yeah, and I know the
especially
Swedish they
Skåne.
speak in Skåne is different than like standard Swedish. There's a YouTuber I watch who's from Skåne, and it's like it's very difficult to understand him sometimes.
Yes, yes.
We also had a Scanian speaker in one of my videos, in the episode featuring the Faroese language. We had a person from there. So if you guys
That's
are
cool.
interested about you want to know how this dialect or language sounds, you can just check it out there. But I think it's time for another Danish challenge. So here it comes. Oh, it's too big now. Yeah, but
No, it's good. Okay.
whoops, sorry. Yeah,
Perfect.
perfect. So Magnus, please read that to us.
Møder på computeren kan bringe os sammen på mange måder. There's a
So,
lot of, yeah.
yeah. Well, I think it's got some words in common with the last sentence. So if we say moeder is a game, then is that what, or rules?
Moeder.
It's rules.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So something on the computer can bring us together in many rules.
Way.
In ways? Oh, ways. Yeah, set. Yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
So something on the computer can bring us together in many ways. Moeder. That looks like moeder. No.
It has
That
an
word is
English
not very
cognate.
familiar.
It has an English cognate.
So not mother. Is it modes? Or like
Moderators.
moderators? When you say it, I'm gonna slap myself. Mother.
So Magnus, you say that it has English, the English cognate, yeah. Do you?
The Ö is a concatenation of O and E.
Yeah,
Maybe that helps a little.
I know. I don't know if that helps. Models. Mods. I don't know. I'm not getting it.
Okay.
Anyway, something on the computer can bring us together in many ways.
So
Communication.
I think
Yes.
you're close. I see people started sending their answers in. Like we have Massimo, we have
Meetings.
Picard,
Meetings.
or
So that's the thing. I think a lot of times Danish uses a D where other
Yes.
languages use a T, and
Yes.
I'm learning that right now.
And then in
Meetings.
Swedish, it is also with a T, I think.
So who is right then?
Meetings.
Meetings.
Who wrote meetings? There's a lot of people who wrote meetings.
Yes.
Okay, I learned something.
Yes. So you see that as an English cognate then the meet.
Meet. Møde. Yes.
I can see it now. It's the D. It's the DT thing that kind of
Yes.
confused me. I didn't know the Danish did that so much.
If I had written it in Swedish, it would probably have been easier for you to read it.
Yeah.
Because
I know
they
the
don't
letter
do the
D in
D thing
Danish.
as much.
The pronunciation of D in Danish is a scary thing.
Yes. Very difficult.
Okay. In Dutch, Claudia suggests it's ontmoeten.
Moten, yeah.
Moten maybe. Interesting.
Muten?
Okay. Interesting. So that's it. So that's the challenge. It went very well, really. Like I must say that the text challenges are much easier than the spoken language. So what we can do now, I'd like to move on to another challenge. So maybe we will be able to pull it off and have one more challenger with you, Peter, staying online.
Okay.
Let me just see if I'm able to pull this off. 1 second. We're gonna do this and this, and I'm going to add Vim. Hopefully. Hello, Vim. Are you there?
Hello.
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 Hi.
Hey. So you are live now. So Vim, tell us where you're calling from and what languages do you speak?
I am calling from the Netherlands, and I speak Dutch as a native language, and I've learned French and English first, and then French.
So you're a Dutch speaker. You're a Dutch speaker. Good. So I think that Magnus, you haven't studied Dutch. I keep forgetting.
I have been doing a lot of Germanic language games on the Discord channel, and I have not studied Dutch at all, but I find Dutch to be kind of easy to understand as a Danish person.
Yes. So Vim, maybe you could come up with a word to describe that, so we could just try to understand Dutch, or maybe you want to write a sentence in Dutch that we could try to understand and translate into English and Danish.
Yeah, just a sentence. In the guest chat, right?
Yeah, you can write it in the guest chat.
Uh,
I'll try to move myself.
so yeah, let me just think about something.
Okay. Okay, so meanwhile, I just wanted to tell to all the people who are trying to get through that if you could prepare words or sentences in advance that while you're waiting and you need some inspirations, then I've just sent you a link there to this random word generator. It's actually, no, it's not this one. It's the Pictionary one. Oh, yes. So I suggest for all you guys to use this one, Pictionary generator. So it just helps you generate or gives you inspiration for words for this kind of games. You can either use Pictionary, but you could also generate catchphrases also. That's interesting. Nail, is that a catchphrase? I didn't know that. I'm not sure what that means. Is it a catchphrase? Pack or state? No, I think it's not doing it. Anyways. Oh, random phrase generator. There is lots of generators online, so you can check that. Break the ice. Knuckle down. Yeah, this is a good one. You know, this is a really good
It's something myself.
good tool. Wim, have you already
Yeah.
prepared this? Yeah.
I have a sentence in the guest chat.
Okay.
It's not from Pictionary generator or something.
Okay, no worries. So let me just copy it and paste it. Yes, I have to go back to the live mode. Oops. Okay, here it is. So we've got a Dutch sentence here. So Wim, could you read that to us, and we will try to translate it as best as we can.
Yes, okay, so slowly, right?
Yeah.
Ik werk als postbezorger 5 dagen in de week.
I know what that means.
Okay,
I do too.
so Magnus, you wait a second. Then I also think I know it, but Peter, you go first. What's your translation?
Well, I work with a guy from South Africa who speaks Afrikaans, so I think I can translate it. I think it means I work at the post office 5 days a week.
Close.
I have a different one.
Yeah, I also thought that it was a post office or a courier services or something like that. 5 days a week I work.
Can
Yeah,
I
so
try?
Magnus, your turn.
I work as a mailman 5 days of the week.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah, so we were close, but in terms of sentence structure, yes, als. It's obviously as.
As, not in.
As a postman. And you don't use any articles there? You don't have like an indefinite article?
Bizarre.
I don't. Yeah, I'm really not that good at grammar. So I don't know what it means in English.
Okay, okay.
So
That's fine. So how would that sentence be in Danish?
Jeg arbejder som postbud 5 dage om ugen.
Could you write it for us, maybe, so we could like see the comparison? Okay.
But that's the reason why I understood the mailman is because it says postbesørger.
yes.
And
So
we
the
don't use
zorger
that
is
word in Danish. It doesn't exist in Danish, but I know what it means because it's a concatenation of besørger and post. Besørger is somebody who provides something.
the zorger is like the delivery or
Yes.
deliverer.
So that's why I understood what it means. It's just not a word in Danish.
Okay, so that was good. I think what we can do next, maybe Wim, if you could come up with a word to describe in Dutch. And this challenge would be for you and for Magnus, and me and Peter, we're just going to listen to you guys speak, and we're going to switch to a different screen. Let me just try that screen.
So I have to describe a word
Wrong
in
one.
Dutch.
I guess. Is that what's going on? No.
Going to happen in a second. Yes. Sorry for a little bit of chaos here, but I'm a bit out of practice, so I'm switching from one screen to the other, and also when I have more people, it's becoming a little bit more difficult from the technical point of view. But we can make it happen, I hope. So just Wim or Vim? I think Vim. Vim, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you could come up with a word, that would be great.
And then I need to describe it in Dutch.
In Dutch, and Magnus is going to reply to you in Danish. But you will have to try to make it. Yeah, you will have to communicate.
I know
like this.
no Danish.
Yeah, that's why it's going to be a challenge for you. Okay, so if you're ready, we can switch to the challenge now. So let's do this.
Okay. So dit woord is iets, je stopt het in de grond en het kan groeien.
Okay.
Yes.
Skal jeg spørge ind til ordet?
In de grond.
Det er rundt.
Grond. En het gaat groeien als het met tijd wordt het groter. En
Okay. Det er rundt.
Nee, niet rond, maar in de grond. In de bodem, in de aarde. En dan groeit het.
Groeit het. Ja. I'm very lost. Yeah.
If you are lost, I'm just going to try to guess maybe. And Peter, have you understood anything?
I think I have a guess.
You have
I think
a guess.
Peter should have taken this
So
one.
Peter, you go first then.
Is it a plant?
Yes.
Okay,
So,
just a plant, or is it a specific plant?
no, not a specific plant. I just did word generator and I tried explaining plant with you put something in the ground, and then I used words like in the earth or at the bottom, or and it grows, and that was my way to describe a plant.
Okay. What was the Dutch word for grow?
grow, groeien.
Groeien. Okay. Gro in Danish.
Okay.
Did you get it, Norbert?
I thought it was a potato for some reason.
Yeah,
You also
it
heard
could be
the
anything really
ground?
with what I described.
Yeah, it
Anything
does
you-
fit the description, right? It just
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't say anything that would make it a potato, definitely,
Yes.
definitely. So, yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yeah, my
interesting.
Danish didn't help me there at all.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we can do like one more challenge with Dutch. Okay. And maybe I will add one more caller who is on the line, and then we'll see what's going to happen then. So, Wim, could you give us another word? This time we're all going to participate.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I have a word.
Okay.
So. De brandweer wordt hiervoor gebeld als er een gebouw in brand staat. Dan staat het gebouw in een vlam. Dus in het Nederlands zou je zeggen in het woord en dan en vlam.
Are you talking about bakery, a bakery, and flames and stove?
Flames, yeah.
So keep speaking in Dutch. Keep speaking in Dutch.
Oh. Yeah, about in. Sorry. Ja, over vlammen en dan. Ja, de brandweer wordt ervoor gebeld als het in brand staat.
Så er det en ting?
This one is difficult.
Is it a thing?
Ja, je kan het een ding noemen, maar het is een gebeurtenis. Als in een ongeluk, als iets in brand staat, dan noem je dat een gebouw staat in die woord en vlam.
Okay, Peter, do you have any guesses?
Not really. I can hear like the names of a city like Brandstad, but I'm not sure beyond that.
So maybe Wim, if you could explain to us in Dutch what this Brandstad is.
It's
In Wim, in Dutch.
Ja, het is geen brandstad of iets. Het heeft te maken met als iets in brand staat. Zo brand en dan staat. Dus dat is geen stad of ja, geen stad. Maar staat is meer een werkwoord. Is een
Så det er en by? Er det en stad? Et sted, hvor man bor? I'm not sure if I should ask in Danish.
Yeah, I don't know anything in Danish. I could
Okay,
say yes,
okay.
no.
So I see that there is a difficulty. So what I understood, the only thing I understood is inflamed or flames. So that's the only thing that I understood.
Vlammen.
Yeah, Peter, you've got any kind of. Oh, you muted yourself, Peter. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So the second time you said brand, which is fire. Is it like a fireplace?
Well, I try to describe the word fire, vuur in Dutch, of vlammen. So vlammen is flames.
Okay, so you described fire as just like as an element, like
Yes.
or fire as an fire of a building. There is
Yes, as in the fire of with a building is on fire and
so it's
and
uncontrolled
I was after
fire.
the word. Yes, and I was after the word fire or vlammen.
Okay. I was also led down the road of thinking it was a place like a city or something, but
Bij
brandsted in
brand,
Danish.
het staat in brand of brand. Het staat, ja,
Yeah, so in Danish you could say brandsted. It doesn't. I mean, we wouldn't really use that so much, but that would be like a fireplace.
Okay, so we've got the fire part done. But what's interesting that in English at least, I'm not sure if you've got that. When we talk about an uncontrolled fire, do you have any special word for that?
Not like a Germanic word. I mean, you could say conflagration, but that's a Latin word, so
And it's
no,
not
I
very
don't think
commonly
so.
used, right? It's just something very specific, maybe used
Yeah, it's
in
like a very much more literary word.
yeah. What about Danish?
Like a fierce fire, or like a word for a fire that's out of control. A blaze. Yeah, I think there's something like that in Danish.
Actually, Matthew is having quite good suggestions for English, like inferno or blaze or forest
Yeah.
fire.
Blaze is a good one.
A forest fire, right? So obviously, forest fire. It's already like there is a word modifying fire, so that wouldn't count. But blaze, maybe.
Blaze is good. And then a brand is like when you brand an animal, like you take a hot iron thing and like brand an animal. So it's like it's not fire, but it has to do with fire.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
we brændemærker.
Wildfire. Also, people suggesting that.
I know there's a Danish word for it. I just can't come up with it right now. I could try and translate.
And in Australia, bushfire. So obviously they're very specific. They're even more specific because in Polish we do have that word. Maybe in most Slavic languages, there is a word for uncontrolled fire, which is pożar. Pożar, and it's just fire that is out of control and needs to be put out. Good. So it seems like in Dutch you also have that, or you don't, Wim?
Yeah, you have brand is basically it's on fire.
Yes.
En dan je hebt de uitdrukking in vuur, je hebt de expression in vuur en vlam. So it's on fire, basically.
On fire.
Vuur og flamme.
Okay, so it's
Fire and flames. So in fires and flames.
it might be a bit different, yeah. So it's more of a description of the state that something is in.
Yeah.
Like if something is in fire. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So, požar in Serbian, as I mentioned, very similar. It's basically the same as in Polish. Brand in German. Okay, so that's
Brand
just
in
something.
Danish as well.
Brand is also the Dutch word.
And we also say fyr og flamme in Danish.
And does Danish also have a word like eld?
Eld?
Eld, like I think is that a Swedish word for fire? I think it is.
Might be.
Incendio in Espanol. We have
Or
Joanna.
ild in Danish.
Požar in Czech. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a delay maybe because now in the chat everybody's talking about it and they mentioned that eld in Swedish, Joanna. So I think that actually, since Joanna is calling right now, so we could maybe add her to the conversation. But I need to disconnect with you, Wim. Okay, for now. So thank you very much for your contribution and your challenges. And yeah, you can stay on. I think we have to disconnect, but you're welcome to call some other time as well if we're going to do this again. So thank you very much, Wim. We're going to add Joanna. So Joanna, get ready. You're going to go live now. Hello. Hi, Joanna.
Hello.
Hi, Joanna, could you tell us where you're calling from and what languages you speak? You've been on the show before, but just for people who don't know you.
Sure. I'm Joanna. I'm calling from the Netherlands. I'm in the Netherlands right now. I speak Dutch and English natively. I'm an interpreter and I work with Spanish. And then I've also studied the German and French at school. And I spend part of my time in Finland, so I speak a little bit of Finnish and fluent Swedish.
Nice.
Great. Oh, so there is a massive potential for challenges here.
Yeah.
But Joanna,
you
Joanna, you would have to like run those because you are a polyglot, so it's difficult to surprise you with anything when it comes to languages.
Probably.
So Joanna, yeah, what do you suggest? What could you give us?
For languages, well, Dutch, but we've already done that, and I could theoretically do Swedish.
Swedish, yes, we could try that because Peter has studied Swedish a little bit, but maybe you could come up with either a sentence, maybe.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, and we could just try to read it and see how far we can go with that, or a word description, the usual.
Let's start with a sentence, and then we'll do the word description later.
Yeah, okay, that's gonna be great.
Oh,
Okay, let's wait a little bit longer. Oh, what's interesting is that in Romanian, wildfire is also like požar or požar, yeah, which is probably a Slavic loan word in Romanian.
It might be poyar.
Pojar, or maybe I'm not sure how it's
požar.
yeah.
It's požar.
In Romanian.
Yeah, it's požar. The J sound in Romanian is pronounced z, like in the with the Russian thing that looks like an X but has an extra line in it. Požar.
That's my favorite letter.
Okay, so we've got.
I've put one in the guest chat.
Okay, so let me just put it here.
Oh, I might have made a spelling mistake.
Okay, so you can just quickly correct that, and I can copy this bit. So it's just this bit, okay.
Yeah, it's just the extra T there.
Okay, so if you are ready, let's see this sentence here. So it's a short sentence.
It also says it should also say i skolan at the end.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
You missed something.
No worries.
Not that it matters a lot, but to be complete.
Let me fix it real quick. Okay, here it is. Yeah, so let's do this then. So Joanna, please read that to us, and we're going to try to translate it.
Miljöskydd ett viktigt ämne i skolan. I will repeat that. Miljöskydd ett viktigt ämne i skolan.
I think I understand it.
Peter, I mean, you've studied some Swedish, so maybe
I'm
you've got some clues there.
struggling with the first word a little bit, but I could guess.
Okay, so Joanna, don't tell us who is right yet. We're just going to present our sentences. So maybe Peter, you go first.
I'm thinking it might be like environmental studies is an important subject in school.
That's very close, but there is a nuance there.
Don't tell us yet. So Magnus, what about you?
I was right on that as well. Maybe it's more like the what do you call it? Forurening. When you do something bad to the environment.
It's
Okay,
close,
so yeah.
close. Yeah, it's not 100% what I'm looking for, but it's still you're both on the right track.
All right.
So my guess is millions of people ate apples in school.
Yeah, that was the wrong track.
Oh, I think no, wait. I think I know what it is now.
Yeah.
Miljøskade. It's damage from environment.
No, it's not the damage. That would be miljöskada.
Skada. Ja.
Skada. It is miljöskydd. But
Shit.
yeah, or in Stockholm they would say hud, but in Finland they say skydd.
Shit.
Okay, so what's the correct answer and who was the closest?
Both of them are very close. It means environmental protection is an important topic in schools.
That is a skydd.
I was
in
away
Danish,
off.
We don't have that word at all.
At skydda.
I've seen that verb before, but I just couldn't remember what it meant.
Protect. That's to protect. So it's about environmental protection is an important subject at schools.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like anything. The only word that I could potentially identify was school.
Yes, and so should there is an equivalent in German for this, and that's schützen.
Schützen.
Ja, wir
Sküde.
schützen einer von einem Gefahr oder so etwas.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Persona non grata also mentioned that.
Yes,
About the Schutz.
Schutz is indeed the German word. In Dutch, you also use a different word because you would say bescherming.
Beskytte på dansk.
Beskytte. Ja, det er beskytte på dansk.
And Zaga is suggesting that there might be some sort of correlation with wichtig.
Yeah, this word. Yeah, this word is the same in pretty much every language except in Dutch, where we say belangrijk. And it's viktig in Swedish, and as far as I know, it's something similar in Danish that I cannot pronounce.
Vigtig. Yeah.
Viktig, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's also viktig in Norwegian, but again,
Yep.
I learned Swedish, so you'll have to forgive
But your
me.
Danish was great.
So what about, so how does that word translate to English again? This wichtig?
Important.
Important. Yes, and Levi just suggests that, I don't know how you feel about that, Joanna, but milieu is a respelled French loan word. Is that
Correct? Correct.
Yeah, Swedish has
correct.
a lot of those.
Yeah,
It's weird to see
actually,
French words spelled in the Swedish way.
Yes, actually, that word is again. It's the same in Dutch. It's milieu, but in Dutch we spell it the French way. But yes, but the weird thing is that in French they don't use milieu in this context.
No,
They would
not to mean
environnement.
environment.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, they would
le
say
climat, environnement.
environnement. Climat is climate.
There is a question from Belle. How is the word important in Dutch?
Belangrijk.
Okay, so that's different.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
What was that again?
Belangrijk.
Belangrijk.
Rijk. With no T. belangrijk.
Brian makes very interesting suggestion that maybe the word wichtig is related to, how do you read that, Peter?
Weighty.
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 Yeah, I think you could say that.
Yeah, because indeed the Swedish word for weight is also vikt. So
Yeah.
Yeah, not so much in Danish.
Okay, Ruben, thank you for the French spelling. We just really needed that.
Actually, it just has one L.
It has one L, but yeah, we're gonna.
Ruben just corrected himself while we were speaking, so that's
Hey,
great.
Ruben, that's great. He's
Yes, thank you for that, because it's good to see the original spelling as well. I mean, that was a very, very good challenge. I really liked this. We've learned so much, and there was so many connections. So, Joanna, we could either do one more sentence if you have one in mind, or maybe we could switch to the word description. So
I will switch to a word. I'll switch to a word description, I think.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's gonna. So the level is going to be a bit higher, the level of the challenge, but we may learn something fun from it as well. So.
Yes. Okej, det här det är en del av landskapet, en del av planetet. Och det är en massa vatten som finns, som står inne, till exempel i en mark eller en skog. Där omkring finns land. Ja? Alltså, det är en massa vatten och det har ingen anknytning till havet. Ja, det är bara en massa vatten, och i vatten bor djur, där bor olika slags människor kan spela där eller leka.
I think I know what it is.
You think what it is? You know what it is? What about you, Peter?
I think I have an idea.
Okay, I think I know like something very generic, so I'm not sure if that's the right one, but we can try. So
You try first.
Write it down.
No, but you try first.
well, all I understood was that it's a part of a landscape on the planet somewhere, and I did hear the word lekka, so it sounds like something to do with lake, but I don't know.
Leka doesn't
so
have
you
anything to do with lake.
Yeah,
doesn't
so you see that I'm completely off track. So Peter, what about you?
Well, I heard the landscape, and I heard that it's like a body of water that doesn't have a connection to the sea. So to me, that's either a lake or an inland sea.
What about you, Magnus?
Yeah, in sø på dansk. I also got that. It's a body of water inside the land with no connection to the sea. So
That's correct. And in Swedish it's sjö or sjö.
So it's
Depending
lake.
on whether you're
so
from Finland. Yeah,
it's lake. So
It is lake.
congratulations, everybody. Even I got it, even though I didn't understand the clues.
Leka actually means to play.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So
That
leka
makes
is
you
another way.
true.
But it's leka is only playing if you're like a child. So barnlekar. Yeah. So the
We
normal
would
word
say
for play is spela.
bella.
Spela.
Yeah, you could say, man kan spela. Man kan typ badda i en sjö också. Ja,
Bella,
det funkar utmärkt. Men det är folk som åker till sin sommarstuga och baddar i sjön.
Ibland kan inte...
Ja, det är typiskt finskt och svenskt sätt att spendera.
In Danish we would say børn leger i søen.
Ja, man lejer i søen.
Spiller is and leka. Yeah, leger is leka, I guess.
Ja, leja is leka and spela is spela.
And the question from Bell again, what was the manavatan?
En massa vatten. Massa of vatten. So it's
Like
a
a body of
mass
water.
a mass of water. So, yeah.
Okay. So I see.
A massa of vatten. But the people who are
this is-
Swedish here are probably making lots of fun of my accent, so don't worry about that.
It's great. I
Sounds
love
very
it.
Finnish.
It sounds very Finnish to you. Okay, that's good.
Joanna, do you speak Finnish as well? You mentioned that you've studied it, right? So
Mä puhun vähän suomea, mutta en mä puhu todella hyvin.
I love Finnish.
yeah, Finnish
I
sounds
still love the way it
awesome.
sounds.
Mutta mun avopuoliso on suomalainen.
I don't understand a word.
Yeah, I know that's Finnish from the way it sounds, but I can't understand anything.
Sitten mä puhun vähän suomalainen, koska mä puhun suomea hänen perheen kanssa.
I know Suomi, it's Finland, Finnish, Suomi, right? So
Suomi means Finland, yes.
Finland. Yeah. So terve, I think terve, that's how you say hello.
Terve is hi.
Hi, yes.
And I know how to say Santa Claus, that's about it.
Joulupukki.
Joulutarina.
Joulutarina is the Christmas story. Tarina story.
Oh, joulupukki.
Joulupukki is the Santa Claus, but actually pukki means goat for whatever reason.
Goat.
Oh.
They have the Santa goat, which lives somewhere in Rovaniemi.
Is that related to the mythology of Thor?
No, because in Finland they have a completely different mythology originally, based on the Kalevala, not on Etta.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes, great. So I think that that would be all for today. You know, we've been through so many challenges. So yeah, I'm very glad to be back, and I'm very surprised that so many people called today. There are still some people on the line, but I won't be able to have you guys. So that we will have to finish the show today. But thank you all of you for calling in and participating. There will be more shows, more regular. Just to make sure that you subscribe to other hubs as well. There's Romance Languages Hub, Slavic Languages Hub, and Germanic Languages Hub. Yeah, so we are going. I'm going to stream there regularly, maybe once a month on every channel, and one stream is going to be on the Ecolinguist channel, so we can all kind of meet together and improvise all kinds of language challenges, not only the ones dedicated to mutual intelligibility, but that's what you want to watch, so that's what we're going to keep doing, just trying to separate it into different channels, so it's going to be easier to navigate. So thank you so much, everybody. That's all for today. Again, Happy New Year, and have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.